to Basement Video Podcast. I'm your co-host, Alex, and this is the main host, John. John, how was your week?
Good. Hi, Andrew. How was yours?
My week was pretty good.
And of course,
Alex is new to introing. It's okay.
our illustrious,
Lustrous.
sexy cameraman, voluptuous,
I'm a stick.
dumpy cameraman.
I'm literally a stick.
That's what we're into.
All right. Those are not the words you use for a stick.
I like voluptuous. Looks.
No, I'm calling Andrew.
Andrew's like a voluptuous stick
Yeah, like
without voluptuous at all.
I'm basically a tree.
He's basically a scarecrow, if anything, with a stick.
Yeah,
up
let's
his-
keep making names for what Andrew is. That'd be fun, right,
Yeah,
guys?
all video. That's all this is.
But even the scarecrow had some action. Right? He has a kid in Gotham.
Yeah, he does.
I thought you were talking Wizard of Oz,
So
and
did
I was
I.
like, he doesn't even have a
I didn't
heart
see that version.
or
Huh?
brain.
Where he
Wait,
had
what
a
is-
kid
He doesn't
with...
have a brain.
Yeah, he doesn't have a brain. So now
He
you're
gets
saying I
one.
don't have a brain.
He gets one.
Okay.
So,
What would you be in Wizard of Oz?
what would I be in Wizard of Oz? I'd be like the fucking
One of the
flying monkeys.
monkeys?
Yeah.
No, dude, you'd be the Tin Man just looking for the lube.
I'd probably...
Can I be Dorothy?
Yeah, sure. Who's Toto then?
Bunny.
What
I
was
got
it?
Bunny and Melody. They're
Okay.
both Toto. One's toe, one's dough.
What happened? Why are we talking about this now?
Something about Tin Man, sheet metal cock.
We should do Wizard of Oz though, honestly.
I don't like
as
that
a
movie.
franchise. As a franchise.
Franchise?
Franchise.
What are you talking
There's
about?
3
Like you
movies
wanna-
and multiple TV shows.
Oh,
And
I
we'll
keep
talk about all the toy releases too.
There is
I keep forgetting that there's like the sequel.
The second one, remember me and Max got really
watched-
fucking high?
Yeah,
We watched it and it was fun.
the Wheelers were the best part of that movie.
Yeah, I know.
The fucking-
Anyways, we watched Rugrats in Paris this week before we go on a half-hour tangent about the Wheelers and Return to Oz.
Why? What's wrong with all that?
Nothing. It was a great movie.
I'll go on for like an
Listen,
hour about that.
I
I don't
didn't.
even mind.
When we watched Return to
The
Oz,
second one, in my opinion, it's not better, but it's really good.
wasn't it like
for what it is.
Wasn't it like the plot like when Dorothy left? It was the Scarecrow who like took over. Like he was like the new king or something like that.
Yeah. And when she went back to Kansas, they all just thought she was crazy. So remember, her mom put her in an insane asylum, and the movie starts out with her getting shock therapy.
Are you for real?
And she escapes somehow and gets transported there with her dog Toto. And then she sees that Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow all got turned into fucking, let's just say, carbonite.
Well, Tin Man, he's
They
alive.
were all stoned, remember?
Well, he isn't.
Wasn't they all stoned, or was it just a Lion and Scarecrow?
They all got stoned?
Yeah, because remember, she had 3 new companions.
Oh,
with her.
was that robot new?
She had like a pumpkin head, which we'll talk about when we're going to do Return to Oz. I'll talk all about that Jack Pumpkinhead that's definitely didn't get ripped off in any Disney movie with Tim Burton. And she had, remember TikTok? It was her version of the Tin Man.
Tin Man. That's what I thought. That was the Tin
And
Man.
then she
though.
had that green moose. Remember the green moose?
No, I don't.
And then she had Belinda, the talking chicken.
All right, we watched.
We watched it like 3-4 years ago. But it was good. I had it on late. I still have it on late.
Well, I was pretty drunk. You guys were high.
I was high as fuck. I think that's the highest I've been in a long time. And it was a good
So
experience.
that to me, that movie was like a fucking fever dream. It was like, was that even?
When that fucking the wall started talking,
Yes!
me and Max were like, oh,
because the CGI was.
because like you didn't know anything was there. Then I know where a face just forms. And it's like the king, and he's just like, they put me in this wall. And we're like, oh my god!
I thought-
but it's not CGI. It's puppets. So it's like actual rock lips moving, and then like the guy's real face in a wall.
Like the tree?
No,
Yeah,
The willow
from,
tree?
Oh.
Yeah, from
Dudley?
Yeah, not Willow.
Or what kind of tree was it?
Crabapple, Mr.
Oh,
Crabapple.
crabapple. Yeah.
For those Canadians out there.
Yeah.
Dudley the dragon. Oh, boring, huh? You don't like Dudley,
wow.
huh?
Oh,
I
whoa,
fucking love
whoa.
Dudley. What are you talking
Falling
about?
asleep. Just
I
think
remember.
about him.
I think I might have talked about this on a podcast or just with you personally before. There's an episode that sticks in my brain because it fucked me up as a kid. Of Dudley the Dragon. He goes to save someone in a castle, or he's trying to get saved in a castle. And there's like a weird thing that you never see, but it just floats and shows up, and like it's like the villain, and he's trying to escape this thing, and he just doesn't. And I don't know, it fucked me up as a kid. Because he was stuck and he couldn't get out, and that scared me.
There's not really many shows of Dudley the Dragon that like
That was the only one.
To be honest, I kind of forgot what I know obviously it's Dudley the Dragon, but weren't there he wasn't the main character, was he? Was
Mr. Crabapple, him. There was the birds.
Weren't there two humans?
Yeah, there was humans.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's Dudley the Dragon was like that. He
was big bird size.
Yeah, he's the name is based off his the show's based off his name, right? But he's not the driving force of the show. It's usually he's just.
There's usually some problems with someone else that he tries to help or fucks around and finds out.
It kind of reminds me of that. What's that cartoon called?
The Kids.
It's literally kids, and they find a dinosaur egg. And
Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Yeah, there it is.
That's older than Dudley, I think. Maybe by a few years or equal time period.
But it's the same kind of concept where it's
no, because those kids find him in L.A. and he becomes one of the kids. It's literally Steve Buscemi if he was a dinosaur in that meme. The dinosaur starts wearing a backwards hat, skateboarding with them.
It kind of reminds me of Encino Man. They find some prehistoric.
And pretty much all of these things are the same, except one's a dragon, not a dinosaur,
and one's a caveman.
But these are but I think it's kind of related to what we're going to talk about because these are all shows that we watched when we were a little kid.
And Reptar, exactly. Bringing it back to the dinosaurs.
Because guess what we watched today, folks?
Not today.
Oh well,
I watched it yesterday.
I technically watched it today.
I watched the end of it today.
Yeah, there you go.
Because the midnight happened.
Today, or Heath watched today. This week we were watching Rugrats in Paris. Now, John, why did we watch this movie and not the first one?
Because the first one's shit as an adult.
There you go.
I have fond memories of the first one coming out because it was a big deal. It was a very big deal.
You didn't ooh ee ooh ah ting tang.
No, there's parts I like. It's just what
was the plot of that? They try to
for a Rugrats movie. Too serious for me.
Yeah, it was.
The first one, not the Paris.
Okay, right. It was a little serious, but bringing in Dill was kind of a changing thing, and it changed the show too, which was cool.
That's what I was gonna say though. Bringing in Dill might have been the jump the shark for Rugrats.
You think?
Yeah.
I think All Grown Up is kind of the.
Well, I like All Grown Up better than Rugrats after Dill.
Well, when did Rugrats first air? It was 1998, right?
91.
Really?
It came out the year before we were born.
Oh shit!
Yeah, well, we were babies when
it was just so popular. It was always on reruns on YTV and Nickelodeon.
So, how many episodes did they have before they were okay, let's just fucking make a movie?
Well, the movie came out in 98.
Okay, that's why I'm saying 98. Okay, so it's been running for 7 years, and then they decided to make a movie.
I get it. It was the most popular show on Nickelodeon at the time.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. The only thing I can think of that comes close to it was...
Because all the other popular shows that were about to come out were just starting. Wild Thornberrys, Rocket Power.
SpongeBob came out
the year after that movie came out.
I still remember when SpongeBob first aired.
Me too.
Dude, my parents were so concerned about what I was watching. They're like, who's writing this shit? Are they on drugs? And I was like,
yes.
More than likely, yeah, it's dope. Yeah, let's watch this. And then my dad started liking it. So
I think parents
they just don't understand.
There's some shows that yes, obviously you can be concerned about, but then I feel like there's
Nickelodeon was pretty safe.
Yeah, for the most
Nickelodeon is safe.
There was once Ren and Stimpy left.
But
started doing their adult
there's
shit.
shows that are really fun and entertaining to watch, but then obviously a parent see say in Adventure Time, they murder vampires. It's we can't have murder in our
yeah. I don't know, for Nickelodeon, most my parents and anyone my aunt, my grandparents, they like Nickelodeon. My aunt today is pissed that her kids don't want to watch Cat Dog with her or Angry Beavers because she loved watching them with me.
I don't think my parents ever had any issues with shows that I used to watch.
Clearly not. You watched fucking Ninja's Blade, or was it? Ninja Scrolls.
That was so. Ninja Scrolls was I was having trouble sleeping, so I popped on and
it was either Teletoon or
YTV, Teletoon, whatever. They usually have these after 12 kind of programs
where it's
on.
Still animated, but it's more geared towards the older teenagers.
Yeah, so one night I just couldn't fall asleep and I wanted to watch some cartoons, but then obviously the afternoon special was going on and then after midnight. And the thing they played was Ninja Scrolls, and that shit. Hopefully we can eventually watch that movie. But this movie scared me to the point that I couldn't sleep for 2 months after that.
So there's a scene in Ninja Scrolls. I'm not gonna give all the details because that movie's pretty fucked. But this giant monstrous man is going around just killing everyone in this movie.
And it shows details too. He
grabs someone's arms, rips both their arms off, drinks the blood like this out of their arm, and that's what 6-year-old Alex watched.
And then he proceeds to make love to the guy's arm's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's the details I wasn't gonna say.
That's dope, man. Hell yeah, that's sick. That's definitely what kids should be watching. My parents always did this thing where like they would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't watch that," and then walk away. So I would just watch it anyway.
My parents are weird. There would be like a time where like I was never not allowed to watch The Simpsons, and then I was like 8, and my mom's like, "You can't watch The Simpsons." I was like, "I've been watching it since I was like 4."
See, that was
probably earlier.
See, that's what I love.
That's kind of like how I was too. It was like in grade 4 watching South Park, and then my mom like, cause like I had like a sleepover party when I was in grade 4, so Cody came over, and like the guys were over. We were watching South Park on like a projector, right?
Yeah.
And my parents come down, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck are you watching and shit?" And they're like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't watch that." And then they like went upstairs, and we just put it right back on. And obviously, they knew we were watching it again.
I remember, I think the first time I watched South Park, I went downstairs to eat breakfast before school, and my parents were up, and they were in the kitchen. I was like, "Oh man, I watched this fucking thing last night," and it was when Michael Jackson comes from the dead, like the Halloween episode, and everyone's walking, and I'm telling them all about it. I'm like, yeah, then they ripped his nose off, and they fucking killed this guy. And it's like, yeah, it's funny and all, but probably shouldn't be watching that.
I remember that like I won't. This is like when we had like satellite like for the first time, and like
satellite was a godsend.
And they had like all these like pay-per-view channels of like the latest movies that came out, and South Park Longer Uncut came out.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
And it was on pay-per-view, and I would watch that all the time, but my mom absolutely hated it because it was like, Cosmo's bitch,
uncut,
Cosmo's bitch is she's a big fat bitch, she's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world, she's a stupid bitch, just like, it's, and my mom's like, why are you watching this? And I'm like, cause it's funny, and she's watching it, and she's like, kind of like laughing. It's funny, it's the best when like parents like watch
they laugh at what they tell you not to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And
one time I was like sick, and my mom was sick or something, and we were like staying home together. And I was watching Workaholics.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And then like we ended up watching the whole like we watched like 2 seasons
Workaholics
together.
is hilarious.
Yeah, it's so good.
It kind of sucks that like even now to this day I don't have many shows that I can actually watch with my parents.
Hey, you do? Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, yeah, that's an example. My mom loves Cobra Kai.
Your mom watched Rush Hour with us. She loves Rush Hour.
It's just but she likes movies. She doesn't like anything that has like people like dying. It's like I showed my parents Squid Games, and they were absolutely like appalled by like how they're just like, these people are getting murdered left and right. It's like,
well, it's because your parents have been through war though too.
No, they haven't been through war.
Yeah, they've been through war.
No, they haven't been through war.
They were fighting in war, I remember.
No, the only war that they've been fighting.
No, I mean that war with you.
Yeah, there you go.
Not a real war.
And so like
no.
With each other. Maybe.
But yeah, it's just like
bring it back.
There's some shows that I can watch and some shows I can't. But before we get sidetracked too sidetracked, we gotta like get back to like the fucking movie that we watched this week.
Yeah. So how's it start, buddy?
So the way that it starts is probably my favorite way that any movie can start.
Any movie ever.
No, like I honestly like when I think of movies, how they start. This is probably the best starting intro of a movie.
Bold ass statement.
It's. I don't know. It's fucked up because
you think
Angelica,
The Godfather.
Think about
it was a very adult movie.
No, Angelica should never have watched The Godfather.
I like that they talked about that. Her parents like, I don't think Angelica shouldn't have watched that movie last night. She only saw a few minutes.
I'm thinking of it in a way of like how parents when they took their kids to go see like, oh, I gotta take care of fucking kids to go see the Rugrats movie. Oh,
that's what all that's
yeah,
for.
Exactly. Oh, look, Rugrats the movie. Whoa! Parents are like, oh. Then all of a sudden, Godfather. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it as an adult. Like, there was a lot of good humor.
I've never saw The Godfather, any of them, by the way.
I have.
Is it any good?
You mean The Bobfather?
1 and 2 are really good.
The Bobfather.
1 and 2 are really good. 1 and 2 were done in the 70s. I'm pretty sure, both of them. And then the third one came out in 1993.
Is it the third one, like the one that no one likes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how Tommy just looks like Dee Dee's dad.
He does.
Yeah.
Shaped head and everything.
Yeah.
And then
so Angelica is like the Godfather.
Like
yeah, so Angelica is the Godfather in the scene.
Bobfather.
Oh, Bobfather, I'm sorry. And what did Tommy want? He's like, so someone
fucked around with Dill at the park.
They took his binky.
And he's like, we just want a new binky. Like, he's like, you don't want me to bash anyone's fucking head, nerds?
It's like, no, not really. So
then she steals one from another baby at the wedding.
Yeah, and gives it to Dill in front of that baby.
I just love the references that I throw in here and there. Like, we found this under our crib, and it's a horse's head.
A horse head like in Godfather.
It's just like they don't make writing like this anymore. It's like no one ever makes cartoons and then makes references because they don't have faith in their audience, like even getting.
Disney does a lot of stuff that's good.
Yeah.
Well, think about
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon doesn't do anything good anymore.
I just like
they did.
Yeah, but they stopped in like 2006.
Like me and Ian, like last time when he came here and we were watching Freakazoid.
That was dope. That was made for adults, just disguised as a kid's cartoon.
The thing is that like a lot of these jokes is like it doesn't like hold your hand when they're delivering the lines. It's like they don't like.
They're smart jokes.
They're smart jokes, and they make you and they assume that you get it because they think that your audience is smart. Nowadays, I feel like these jokes are like they have to like walk you through it to get why it's funny. Almost, it's like they're insulting your intelligence to comprehend the humor of like what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And a lot of like cartoons like we have watched.
Yeah, but Alex, when you explain the joke, that makes it funnier.
No,
right?
it doesn't.
Yeah, because like you tell the joke and then you tell it again in more depth. Like you tell the joke and then you say it again, but then you keep going into it more.
You get what he's saying?
Yes, I get what he's saying.
What do you think?
I think
It's
it's
a joke.
stupid. Ha 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 ha.
I don't. What's the joke? Explain it.
Oh, he has to explain that he has to tell the joke again, because
I don't know. Yeah, Nickelodeon died a long time ago.
yeah, a lot of the things that we enjoyed that had a charm, color, and
I don't even care if they made new cartoons. Just it's all live action now, pretty much. Besides SpongeBob and a few weird cartoons that
Every
I feel
time
like are more younger kids' cartoons.
every time I ever watch a cartoon show or a cartoon program like that had. Oh, we're done with SpongeBob. Now we're back to
Patrick's show.
or Corey's in the house or something.
Corey in
like
the House was dope, and that was Disney. Don't shit on Corey in the House.
Have you noticed like lately they're using more like the 3D animation for like children's stuff and cartoons are for adults now?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
weird?
pretty because that's what we like.
Yeah, I know, but like kids just don't like cartoons. Is that
Apparently
what
not.
they're trying to say?
I don't
But
know.
like, I know my niece, she loves Spider-Man. She loves like the comic book style art and
Yeah.
stuff, which I feel like when she's watching the 3D stuff, she's less entertained than when she's seeing
Probably.
like the drawings and stuff. So,
Is there 3D stuff for Spider-Man? Like, are you
not
talking about
really.
3D like Coco Melon?
Yeah, like anything like that, like.
Yeah.
But like, that's just the animation style they use for pretty much everything now.
Yeah,
Like
especially for
Paw
young
Patrol,
kids, yeah.
fucking PJ Masks, all that shit. I only know this stuff because I have nieces. and
Yeah, sure.
nephews.
Well-
Andrew's a big Paw Patrol fan.
Yeah, love
what
it,
what
yeah.
shows are
Big
even
cat, bro.
what shows are even airing in Nickelodeon right now?
I couldn't tell you. Besides, Patrick Star got a show.
He has his own show.
Yeah, because SpongeBob finally ended.
Patrick's got his own show.
It's horrible. Everyone hates it. I don't even know if it's still on.
That makes me sad.
Is it like the Cleveland show?
I think
I thought
yeah.
the Cleveland show was supposed to
I
be
like the
better.
Cleveland show better than Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, Family Guy eats dicks.
Yeah, Family.
Yeah, Family Guy sucks.
Is it dead now? I feel like it should be dead by now.
It's not.
American Dad and the Cleveland Show were all better than Family Guy, even.
But
at Prime.
but American Dad's like done now, right?
Nope, it's still going.
Okay, thank God.
American Dad's dope.
Yeah, American Dad's funny.
I just like all
Nicole
these.
hates
I just
it.
feel like at some point these shows like need to die. Like
Well, that's what they did with all the shows we liked, which is good. On
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, but then they didn't. But all those writers went to go do better things.
Bro,
And Klapsky, Chapo, what? I don't think it's Chapo. Could you look up the company that makes Rugrats?
yeah.
It's like the two people's last names together. They did All Real Monsters and maybe Wild Thornberrys too. I don't think so though. I'm not sure.
that was a great show.
All that whole lineup, just waking up Saturday and be like, oh, because remember one Saturday morning on ABC, like it would be the Disney stuff. You know what I'm talking about? The Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, once after like 2000 hit, it was mostly just like live action shows that were already played on Disney Channel all week, so I didn't watch it. But once you turn on Nickelodeon, it's like, all right, motherfuckers, we got SpongeBob, we got Rocket Power, we got fucking Wild Thornberrys, we got, oh fuck, remember Angry Beavers? Yeah, we still got that.
I would love to
I
hear.
hate how obscene they were to us. It was so rude. Let's hear you, little motherfucker.
I'd love to hear a fucking host be like, "Oh, what do we got here? Oh, fucking Wild Thornberries."
So the name of the company is Klasky Sabo.
I think it's the last part's pronounced different.
It's CSBO. UPO.
Whatever. I don't remember how to pronounce
I don't know how to
But yeah,
pronounce
they
it.
were a married couple and they got divorced, I think, halfway through Rugrats, but they still were making it. But I think that's why. I don't know what they do now. Have you watched the new Rugrats?
No. You mean when they were like teenagers?
No, the new Rugrats. It got rebooted last year.
No, I had no idea.
And it's that new animation style. It's not
Oh,
cartoon.
no.
Yeah.
It's cartoon. It's just different style, isn't it?
No, it's a 3D.
Is it 3D?
Yeah, but it's
this time
it's good though.
Yeah, they updated it to like instead of Stu being a developer, like a inventor, he's a game developer.
Yeah. And then
The grandpa's a hippie because he's from the '60s instead of the '40s, like he would have been in the '90s. It's funny,
the Phil and Lil's mom's a lesbian.
which we all knew she always was.
Yeah, right. But now they just like actually went
Like
for it.
anytime in this movie when we saw Phil and Lil's dad, I forget that fucking guy exists because I assumed the mom was lesbian.
He's
That's
such
the
a
thing.
like he's a little weevil.
No,
It's
I know,
like,
but like
He's-
usually at
he's
least see him
just
sometimes.
insignificant.
Yeah.
He's always supposed to be.
He was a big part in All Grown Up
yeah, that's
because
true.
him and they all the parents own that.
like
restaurant,
he
remember?
seems like the kind of dad that like his wife fucked him. Like
Definitely.
he like his wife would be the one like pinning him onto the bed, and she'd be like
Yeah,
forcing.
you wanted to fucking go into detail about their sex life? Is that what you're doing? right
Listen,
now?
I'm just saying he is the most beta male cuck I've ever seen as a
No,
character.
dude, he's like a Zeta male. He's way at the bottom there.
He's got fucking Krusty the Clown hair.
His hair, you know why his hair is like this? It's because she's like fucking riding him like handle.
He's just handlebarring him.
She.
All right, so we're at the wedding still, the movie that we're talking.
The first wedding
Yeah,
of 3.
of 3 of this. Yeah, I completely forgot that this movie.
I forget even who. Oh, the grandpa got married the first time.
in my opinion, I'm gonna say this again because I said the Dill thing already. When Grandpa got married, when Dill came around, I liked Kimmy as a character, but when she came around, the writing was already bad and it just got worse.
What?
I like Kimmy as a character, like Chaz's new daughter. With
Yeah,
his
yeah,
wife.
yeah.
She made the show a little bit better when she came in, but
Yeah.
after Dill and Grandpa got married, the show got more like the animation was too refined.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like because no, it was
Well,
like
you could
it was
see
more.
you could see frames through frames before.
Yeah, and I like
And,
that.
Yeah.
Like I like the. It looked like someone just like, oh, here's Tommy. Like did that, and they did
This-
it. This one they got like into computers, I assume, or just painting it better. But I don't know. I didn't like that.
It's not like hand drawn anymore. It's all like
It was probably still hand drawn, but like they had more money because
the problem is that like the,
They probably had more artists.
you
doing
can make it like look. I get it that like technology is getting better and you can make shows look fancier. Like,
I don't give a fuck.
but like some shows just look best when you keep that classic design. Like,
To be
like,
honest-
I can't watch The Simpsons because I hate how they look right now. Like I miss.
yeah.
It's technically more challenging to do it the old way than
Yeah.
it is to do
Yeah,
it the
that's
new
why
way.
they
'cause-
upgraded, but I don't care.
Yeah, and I like.
I don't care if it's harder for you to draw.
That's the thing. I appreciate it more
Yeah.
because you actually spent the time. You drew every
That's
little
why like
thing in that
cartoons are
frame.
like not all of them, but like 80s, 70s, 60s, all those cartoons looked like trash.
Mm.
But that's because it took a long time just to get that trash. So like
Yeah.
like Spider-Man doing this in the cartoon and then going to this, that was probably 48 cells. Because all the shit behind them and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, so like a lot of times they'll make like a cell and for
Yeah,
the
the backgrounds
background,
just
and then they can keep animating on that
Yeah, because
cell.
they usually keep the one frame for say Spider-Man, and then the background's just moving.
right.
I am.
And
happy.
it'll just be overlay
Yeah,
land.
and a lot of zoom-ins on faces, so you don't have to show the bodies moving.
right.
There was another thing that like you know how you always hate when you come up to my house and I have True Motion on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I never really understood why, but then I looked more into like True Motion, and it really is just fake frame. Like
yeah, it's horrible.
because
It adds frames.
it's
that
not
aren't
like
there.
true like the movie made those frames. It's the TV making up copies of a frame to make it like look.
Well,
That's why it gets laggy sometimes. when
yeah.
you
It's
stream
technically
it.
it's blending two frames together to make multiple. Or
and so like
whatever.
now that I looked into it and
It
like
only took you literally 6 years to understand what I
well,
was saying.
I never really watched my TV, so it's like I never really looked into like the whole like True Motion. And then like my TV, the new one that I have actually has like it's 120 frames per second, and it has True Motion.
Fames? Oh,
Fames.
those are hard to get.
120 frames per second.
Damn, that's a lot of fames.
More than us.
we got
Facts.
65 fames.
We're
Per
getting
second. per year. At this point.
there. But what I was saying was that like yeah, like keep the classic look, guys. I don't care if it's harder for you. I don't care if you gotta work your weekends. You gotta make our shows great again, okay?
Well, even
Well-
shows like Gravity Falls, that looked dope and that
Yeah,
was new.
and Rick and Morty, like the background.
I
that was
hate
pretty dope.
it.
You hate
What?
Rick and Morty?
I hate the animation style of Rick and Morty.
Oh,
Why?
really?
I just don't like it.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know.
It's too clean for you.
It's too. You know what? I think.
it's too clean, but trying to be not clean. At
But
the same
you like
time.
Archer, right?
I've never watched Archer. In my
Oh,
life.
I thought you did like
Archer's such
Archer.
a good show, man.
Never
Archer's
watched it.
pretty good.
I think
American Dad, you like?
Yeah, but that's the style of Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
It seems like Rick and Morty's trying to be clean, but then trying to be like gritty at the same time, like with their animation.
Well, it's. I don't want to say it's sloppy, but it's stylistically.
No,
sloppy.
I get that.
Yeah. And that's like I don't know. That's kind of like the
Maybe
style
I don't
go
like
for.
Rick and Morty. I just don't like how everything's doing that now.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
love that.
That's
that.
progressive. That's like,
I feel
It's
like
not progressive. It's copying another cartoon.
Well, I feel like it started with SpongeBob, like those close-ups and stuff, where it's like all gross and shit.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I like that.
I like that too, but like that's what I'm.
That started with
that's-
Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I feel like that is like where all that kind of stuff stemmed from, because people really it causes adverse reactions to the people watching. So then in turn it makes.
I feel like
them
Rick and Morty looks
remember
like
it.
half Family Guy, half something else. Not the way the people look, just the way colors and shit are.
maybe.
Kinda,
I personally
yeah.
like how Rick and Morty's like anime. It's that good animation where it's like you have to rewatch it and then like stop frame by frame just to properly enjoy all the background shit that's
I
happening.
haven't watched Rick and Morty since season 2, so I don't know if anything's changed.
Like the one time I was watching Rick and Morty, it was where Rick wanted to know who shit in his toilet.
Yeah. that's
So
what it does.
he so he travels to all these alien planets, and because Rick and Morty is so creative with like their alien like worlds and adds all like this crazy stuff in the background, I would watch that show just to pause frame by frame of like, because he went to one planet where a robot race was at war with like an alien race with a lizard alien race, and even though obviously the center of focus is Rick trying to like fight through the war to get like the chip that's in the side stomach of a monster, there's all like the battle that's happening in the background. So I'd pause just to see what the hell is happening in the background because of all the detail they would put into that.
I'm not discrediting the artist. I
Yeah.
understand that it's good in its own way. Not for me.
Mhm. But like shows like Archer and
I
even-
appreciate the way Archer does it.
So like Archer, the animation style is vector, which
Yeah.
is like it's mathematical.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like every line that is in Archer is scalable. So they could literally print that at like the size of a building and it would look good still.
Yeah.
But like so to make that animation, it actually takes time to design all those characters, and then once you have everything designed, you can then use like the points that you made to just like move them. But it looks really clean and it looks really good once it's done. And I like that.
I started thinking about like when we were watching Rugrats as a kid, like what was the backgrounds like? I realized now that almost every episode was just them either in their backyard.
Imagination.
Yeah, it's just their imagination, them in their backyard or them just in their like little
Playpen.
living-
It's very similar in the sets of the imagination part to Muppet Babies. Because that's all they did in Muppet Babies. Was just to go on an adventure with their imagination as babies.
The people who the couples who made the show like really knew, like, because they were thinking like you would have to think like a kid, like how does a kid talk? Oh, I look at a remote and be like, this is not a remote, this is a clicker. Oh, it's a clicker.
I think they wanted to do Our Real Monsters first, but Nickelodeon's like, get something a little normaler,
yeah.
and then we'll give you that one.
Yeah, and then I saw that in the that one documentary.
I
yeah.
showed you.
And
It was called. Did you watch that documentary? It's called The Wonder Years.
No.
Was
no,
it The
it's
Wonder Years?
it's the Orange Years.
The Orange Years.
Yeah.
It's a documentary about behind the
Nickelodeon.
scenes of Nickelodeon and how some things were really fucked up.
So yeah, they had the, like he was saying, they had the idea for All Real Monsters, and then they got rejected for it. And the one person went home and was like just racking his brain,
that's what it
thinking
was,
of
yeah.
ideas, and then like his child was doing something crazy. So then he just came up with the whole premise of Rugrats based
I
off
love
of
stories
Baby.
like that where it's just like,
People are so fucking creative.
Yeah,
and
for
it's-
sure.
It makes me happy.
do you ever feel like creativity is almost like running out nowadays?
No, you're just not looking in the right spots.
Yeah, and there's like different forms of creativity, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot there's a lot of content out there already, so like
So you're just seeing what's being shown to you.
yeah. And also there's a point at which almost everything's been done, you know what I mean? And now you have to be super creative in order to have
That's
original
where you get Uncle
ideas.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Remember we watched that?
I watched a little bit
Hey
of it.
kids, me Uncle Grandpa.
Good morning.
I only watched the one episode with you.
So like I remember watching like the Steven Universe special where they introduced Uncle Grandpa, and they were like, "No, guys, it's my Uncle Grandpa. He's not a monster or anything." He's like, "Wait, Uncle Grandpa? So that would mean your father." And then like the one Jim's like, "Okay, everything makes sense now." But
No, we've talked about this before.
there was one show
Okay.
that Cartoon Network aired, and everyone unanimously agreed it was the most ugliest, not funny show like
What?
at all. It was
I think you brought this up before. I just don't remember what it was called.
It's just a bunch of friends who made a business where they rescue people or something like that. But the art style is so ugly, and the jokes were unfunny. And there was like another show that was like, what's that art style where it's like the trucker stickers that you see on like where the eyes are bugging out and like
90s chrome.
yeah,
No,
so
Motorhead, not like
Yeah, like,
the rat fink.
there you go.
rat fink and like it's like like grease
Kind of like
monkey
the
and
beginning of the
shit.
Grease cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made a cartoon that was like kind of like that art style, and it was called like Fort Badass of Mount Awesome or something
I
like
think
that.
I've heard of that.
And it was
Cartoon Network lately, the names of their fucking shows. Like, why?
I don't
Like,
know.
it got Adventure Time, cool. Okay. Steven Universe, cool. What was the other one? Regular Show, getting a little weird.
Regular shows, but that's the thing.
Regular
All
show's
those,
really good.
those are, they're done. All of that's done.
That's what I mean. Now, like, what is it? Well, I don't know what's on Cartoon Network. What's on it?
The
new Powerpuff
Gumball.
Girls? Gumball's
Amazing-
still on?
Yeah, Gumball's still going. Amazing. That show's a fucking
I know
hilarious.
Gumball's good, yeah.
The thing is that like, I thought to myself like, oh yeah, these shows are like they're new. No, like Adventure Time ran for like what 12
Adventure
years.
Time started when we were in the end of high school. I think.
That's insane. That blows my mind.
Well, even like when I was bringing up Gravity Falls, that's been on since we were in high school. No, not on, but it started when we were in high school.
yeah, in my mind, I'm
And
thinking
to me,
like,
that's like, oh, that's a new cartoon.
yeah, that came out like 4
I
years
like
ago.
what they're doing with cartoons, no?
Yeah, and now they're
10
done.
years ago.
And have you watched Gravity Falls? Like those shows?
I love
They're
Gravity Falls.
amazing. Like and like, there was one episode that I saw that was just like, what do you call those? The rich people that have like the blonde girl. She's like all snooty. She's like, I don't want to hang out with you guys. You guys are dirty or whatever. And like her family's like taught her to be like that.
What do you mean? What do I call that?
A valley girl.
A bitch?
No, her name. I'm talking about
Oh,
the
I don't know
family's
her name.
name. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to fucking remember their names, but I never watched the show like enough, and I
Remember
really
the mermaid boy that she falls in love with?
no.
The girl character?
That's the thing. I need to watch these shows.
I'd love. You haven't watched Gravity Falls?
I watched every like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this episode and this episode. It's like I've watched like
You watch,
every other
what people
episode.
recommend or whatever.
Yeah,
they
stuff like
recommend.
that. I need to like just take time to like really watch all these episodes and properly enjoy them.
Yeah, so Rugrats, huh?
I'm sorry, audience, I'm really
Whenever
sorry.
we talk about cartoons, I'm okay with this, but whenever we talk about cartoons, it just spans of. In my day, cartoons was better. What's going on?
Exactly. what tarnation happened? Anyway,
Where you got these sponges,
from now on, we're gonna stick only to the movie that we just watched.
No, one more thing. If you think about it, the cartoons that we grew up with are done, but the cartoons that are now for adults are very similar to the style of those cartoons, but for adults that are for us now.
Okay.
So like cartoons grew up with us, and then the other ones are shitty.
Yeah, but then like in I don't know 20 years when like my nieces and nephews when they grow up and they're like us, they're gonna be watching a bunch of this 3D animated stuff and they're gonna have 4D animated stuff and they're gonna be like, yeah, no, that shit's stupid.
I don't know. I think we're the generation with the most nostalgia. Like us and kids that were in the 80s.
We're the best
Well,
generation.
Like that's what they say. Like millennials have the most
Are
nostalgia.
we millennials or are we
we're
zennials? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about us too is like we're in a shitty position generation wise because we seen like the
Everything.
before and the after of technology. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like we saw the industrial revolution
The Industrial Revolution.
revolution change into the technological revolution, and that fucked everybody up. And
Yeah.
now we're like, oh no, it should be easier now that we have robots and fucking Back to the Future promised us hoverboards and we don't have those. What the fuck?
Let's be honest.
Robert Zemeckis is like, I didn't promise
What year did
anything.
they-
I just made the movie.
Yeah, what year did they say that hoverboards was gonna be a thing? 2016,
15.
15.
Yeah. We have them, but they're shit.
Yeah.
They like
They have wheels too.
no. There's like have you seen the Lexus one?
Yeah.
So it's like it runs on a magnetic skateboard park, and
Oh, yeah.
it has to be cooled with liquid nitrogen, and it only hovers like
Yeah, I saw
probably
that
like
one.
1.21 gigawatt.
4 inches off the ground, and it's like you can only ride it for like like 30 minutes at most, or else it's gonna explode.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty fun.
It's kind of funny how like the Jetsons. I think that show takes place in the year 2002. I think.
That show makes sense in some ways. Internet. I'm not gonna mention the other way everyone else thinks. We polluted the earth too much, so we got to go super high.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Or post-apocalyptic. You ever hear this one?
Hmm.
Jetsons and Flintstones, same year.
Yeah, you already told me.
They
this.
live on the ground. Jetsons are up top.
You mean like the special they had?
That's not what happened in the special.
No.
They went back in time in the special.
Oh, okay. I thought that was.
And Flintstones meet the Jetsons, or Jetsons meet the Flintstones, whatever one it is. They go back in time. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, yeah, they go back in time. But there's a conspiracy that... Not really conspiracy, it's about fucking cartoons.
I was gonna say,
that, like-
can you describe that as a conspiracy? I thought.
Yeah, it's big.
But it's
big,
like supposed to be
hot topic.
post-apocalyptic, and the people that didn't get away are the Flintstones at the bottom, and the Jetsons are the people that got away. With all the technology that they had.
So how about that Rugrats movie, huh?
What movie?
The Rugrats movie.
Did we watch that?
Yeah, we watched it.
I'm just kidding. So yeah, the
Okay, I want to
Uncle
like.
Lou gets married to Lulu. How creative, huh? Lou meets Lulu. She's two of them.
Oh, would you want to marry when you're in your 80s at that point?
I don't want to marry now.
Mm.
So she's basically like, if he was Mew, she'd be Mewtwo. So she's
Yeah.
Lewtwo.
Yeah, she's Lou too.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
His wife's name is Lulu.
Oh, Lulu. Oh
and
my
his
God.
name is Lou.
Who names their kids Lulu?
Someone in the 40s.
Lewtwo.
That's how old they are.
Would you ever name your kid like something like that's like just a word like?
I want to name my kid Chucky just to scare people.
No, that's the thing is like
Put him in overalls all the time.
I had no idea that Chucky was also the name of that like the doll. So like
Yeah.
whenever I heard the word Chucky,
I think that's hilarious that they did that.
He's a
That-
red
'Cause
haired.
he looks similar
yeah,
to Chucky.
he does.
he actually does. I think that was the.
But they made him the complete opposite of Chucky, like a timid fucking
Well,
little scaredy cat kid.
Technically, his name's Charles.
Chucky's this too.
Technically.
Because it was a real person.
Technically.
Oh my god.
So the plot goes is that Lou gets married to Lulu, and then Chucky.
That's literally the first 5 minutes.
I love how the Bob father is like giving everyone their wishes. Like
you can say Angelica.
Angelica is like he gives
She's not the Bob father to you.
he gives
She.
Yeah, she. It's Angelica.
she.
It's the
Where
Bob.
I keep forgetting everyone's names now.
Angelica, Phil, Lil, Chucky, Dill.
Dill,
Tommy.
he gives Dill a new binky.
Well, technically, that's Tommy's wish, though. For Dill.
Tom, okay.
You're gonna piss Alex right
Listen,
off.
I'm trying to fucking.
It took him 10 minutes to get that fucking blabbermouth out of his mouth, and then you correct him.
Phil and Lil, they found out where their boogers were, and she's like,
Oh yeah, you put your boogers on. That's why the horse head was in.
yeah, it's
their
like we
bed.
found this under our bib, and they're like, well, that's what you get for putting boogers all over Cynthia, and he's just like, that's where I left them. And then Chucky's like, I don't really know what I want. Well, pick something already. He's like,
And then that
"Oh,
sad
okay."
ass mom dance comes.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, all right, everybody, but the one fucking kid.
They know there's a kid there with a dead mom. Why would they do that? Everyone dance with your fucking moms.
Well, it's okay.
Except for you, Chucky.
Chaz, Chucky, probably should get going, huh? Go look through that box of your dead wife stuff.
Well, it's okay because
About that time,
maybe he was bitter because that guy was a caricature of a guy that's already dead, or it's an homage to
That's not that's not a thing in the movie that they're doing. You really think that
What?
the DJ at the wedding was a homage to Casey Kasem because I think he died recently when this movie came out. Like the DJ or the radio
The voice
DJ,
of Shaggy.
like he's a really he was the original voice
Yeah.
of Shaggy. And Alex is saying maybe Chucky knew that was a homage to the dead man.
No, that's not what I
And
meant.
that's why he was upset.
No, that's not why I said that. I was just like, I don't know.
Chucky was a huge Casey Kasem fan. He loved listening to top 10 every Friday.
Anyway,
loved him.
so Chaz goes home and
Chaz?
I just think that's funny that he's like,
Let's just say for the record, sorry for anyone nameless that's watching. Chaz is a horrible name. It sounds like cheese.
That's my name, dude.
I don't care. That's
My real
horrible.
name.
Chaz? I just think of Cheese Whiz.
Chaz Whiz.
Like Chaz together is Cheese Whiz if they married each other.
Yeah, but
Which
that's
they do with
That's
the
why
jar.
Coco called him Chad.
So anyway, he sees that his son is like all upset because it's like a dance only for mommies.
we got going, Chucky.
Yeah, so he goes home and he looks at old photos. He's like, "Oh, I really need to get my dick wet," you know.
That's a direct quote from the movie.
Yeah.
I'm reading this
Why
script
did
right
you
now.
make him sound like the old guy from 8 Crazy Nights? Oh, I'm gonna get my dick wet.
That's a technical foul.
Oh, Chucky, get out of here.
trying to get my dick wet.
Oh, you want your Wawa? Yeah, here.
And so Stu is like, yo, I'll hook you up, buddy.
Yeah, bro, check this internet. Bitches be wilding on here.
You've already got 12 new messages. Wow, well, that's 3 times I get normally a year.
He said 3 times his lifetime.
Yeah.
Poor Chaz.
I think he meets a bunch of meth heads.
Yeah, and like he opens up all the letters, and every single one of them are just meth heads.
I don't know if I made this up in my head or if it was in the show after. Because I think the show led up to this. That's how we're supposed to just to be aware that Stu made that robot. Because I think he did it in the season in between.
Well, the thing is, Stu is an inventor or toy inventor in the show.
What's an adventor? He's an advent calendar?
He's a calendar.
He's a creator, and he makes all these like crazy
No, I
robotics.
know, but what I'm saying is in the show,
Yeah.
I think he did create that robot during the show for one whole season, and that led up to this movie.
Well, I remember he made that go-kart. That
was for the other movie.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of like crazy, like all this shit that he makes, but he still lives in a fucking suburb. Like it's just
He has a giant ass house and fucking 2 kids.
And bro, he invests.
wow, 2 kids, so crazy.
He invests his money into his craft.
He invested in NFTs. He's just
No.
Think about
The supplies to build robots is expensive.
What's the mom's
as fuck.
name?
Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, Dee Dee's a stay-at-home mom, and he's an inventor. And they have that giant ass house. Obviously, he's making.
Okay, but like it's a fucking literal mech. You'd think he'd like make millions off of that alone.
Maybe
it
he
didn't work
did.
yet. They didn't get the money yet. That's why he had to
Yeah,
go
because
fix
they
it.
didn't use paper clips and rubber bands for a reason.
I hate you.
What? It's true. He
As
literally.
soon as the babies pull out the paper clips and rubber band, the head flies off.
Yeah. But think about it. Think about how many times Dee Dee alone has taken those kids to everywhere. Like
So
all
what?
the
My
no,
parents-
no, all the kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
that's true.
parents took me and
Not you and your sister.
Yeah,
Dill, Chucky, Tommy, Angelica,
Phil and
Susie
Will.
Carmichael, Phil and Lil.
I think you're underestimating just how
Susie
cheap.
Carmichael.
I think you're underestimating just how cheap kids fly, like
I'm
babies
not talking
especially.
about flying. I'm talking about them. Every episode, they're like, "All right, let's go buy everyone here a new toy. All right, let's go to Reptar on Ice. All right, let's go to this theme park. Oh, let's go buy everything."
Well, Stu doesn't even like he makes most of the toys. Don't you remember Mr. Friend or Mr. Fiend or whatever?
The clown one?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I do. Fuck that shit.
Like
What
most
I'm saying is, fuck you. They were well off.
they're well
They're definitely not struggling. And they're also supporting Grandpa, too.
Yeah, Grandpa lives there.
I think you're making it seem like all of this is really expensive, but it's not. I don't
Have you ever done any of these things?
No.
Have you had kids? No.
No,
Have you
Alex.
stored your grandma at your house? No.
Have you stored your grandma?
stored your
Put her in the closet. All right, Grandma,
Hang on the go
Christmas.
rack.
Christmas, when the tree comes out, you can too.
So like you open up, where's the Christmas tree? Grandma's like, here, okay, great. Just close the door on
How do
it.
you think this isn't expensive?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
You've literally never done any of the things they've had without your parents paying for it. So how would you know what any
Yeah,
of
to
that
think this
cost?
happened in like 1998, so
No,
it's
this is 2000.
whatever. I don't care. Like this is still like
It's still expensive.
it's still babies. You're not paying for full.
When
like,
you grow as a child, things don't get more expensive. They stay the same.
Stu's just he's an
Okay,
entrepreneur, bro.
But what I'm saying is Stu made a giant Godzilla.
Yeah, and he didn't
mech.
get paid yet because the thing wasn't running yet. That's why he went out there to fix it, and then I assume he
then-
got paid.
Okay, well now they fixed it. Why is he not rolling in the?
Because his kids took it, demolished France,
yeah,
and
that's
ruined
a
the
good
wedding.
point. He
So
had
they
to
probably
pay
have to
for
pay
that.
for all that.
To be fair, they did fuck. Like I think they stripper
All
pole
that
danced on the.
daycare that Kimmy was at.
Bro,
Kimmy was okay. I know she's a baby, but come on. All your friends are running, and you're like, "Oh, I'll go for a ride." Just sits in the fucking robot's hand. Him and Angelica, like they're not gonna bounce off, slip
bro,
through the fingers.
that had me nervous.
That's what I was
Angelica,
telling him. I was like, as an adult, I was nervous as fuck that whole scene.
Angelica would died for sure.
She literally got thrown so many times.
She got thrown like 40 feet in the air and caught in a metal hand.
Chucky's holding her like this. You see him in the glove holding her like this. She's dead. Chucky killed Angelica.
We're getting we're way ahead of this. Okay, we just finished the wedding. We finished Chaz like jerking
Well,
it and
Stu
like.
gets
to
a
be
call
fair-
middle of the night to go fix the robot from Kimmy's mom. What's her name? I always forget.
Or
is her name?
Kimiko?
Kimmy. That's from something else we watched, I think. Kimiko's from Karate Kid too.
I don't know. Her name's literally like.
It might be Kimiko, but I'm pretty sure that's from Karate Kid too.
Like I know the kid's name's Kimmy, but I think Kira.
Kira.
yeah.
Kira, that's right.
You got
Fun
it,
fact
Alex.
about Kira, me and Alex both looked up. She's blind in real life and never got to see this movie.
That's kind of
That's
sad.
the sad part.
Literally, IMDb facts mean I was talking about. There's some weird facts that don't mean anything. Like one of the facts was like, this was the first movie of 2000 to be released in November.
So
and I'm like, cool.
Me and John, whenever we do these podcasts and we watch the movie, we always like review like any like trivia or information about like stuff about the movie. If we looked up Rugrats in Paris, there is little to nothing worth of value.
There's maybe like 2 that are interesting.
Yeah.
Like her being blind was probably top tier interesting out of this list of shit that we had.
Everything else was just like, yeah, like John.
First Nickelodeon sequel.
Cool. Lowest running movie, because this movie is like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, cool. What about like stuff like, because like there's so much stories about
the dumbest one. No, okay, with the dogs are sharing the pizza like Lady and the Tramp style.
This is
literally it's like that's an homage to Lady and the Tramp. Oh, okay.
Oh, it is?
Didn't catch on.
I love how they brought that up, but not the Godfather scene.
Yeah, like, the Godfather wasn't in any trivia anywhere. And I'm like,
wasn't Who Let the Dogs Out written for this movie?
No, it was written for a Who Let the Dogs Out was originally Who Let the Dogs Out was originally a theme for like some baseball player. It's like an intro or whatever.
I remember Who Let the Dogs Out being in the first movie. I was surprised when I heard it in the credits of this because I thought it was like a bigger part of the movie.
It was in this movie, like in the actual part of
Who
this
Let the
movie.
Dogs Out was not.
The dogs are running, right?
Yeah,
Who Let the Dogs Out?
Spike gets out.
Yeah, we were talking.
Okay.
What, Alex? What?
Who Let the Dogs Out was.
I don't know. We'll go ask someone.
Sing the song.
I don't know the fucking lyrics.
The potty was jumping, the potty was hot.
Oh, hey, yo, and everybody having one ball. Hey. Anyway, so Who Let the Dogs Out was not originally written by Baha Men. Baha Men took they took the lyrics and then they made their own version, and that's the one that everyone's like now.
Was it written by the Dog Pound?
And
Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound?
Are you fucking kidding me right now, Alex?
No, I'm not. And so that song is like what made Rugrats in Paris made that song like on the map, and everyone was like, it won a fucking Grammy. It won so many awards. And
it's a fun fact about that song in my personal life. I think we got the Rugrats soundtrack as kids, me and my cousins, and it was like Christmas, and we were dancing like kids, just flailing your arms around, your legs around. My little cousin fucking popped himself in the face. 1 or 2 teeth fell out.
Nice.
Damn.
They were baby teeth. They were ready to fall. But, he was just like, boom, and it was just like teeth on the ground.
Why? What does this have to do with Who Let the Dogs Out?
We were listening to Who Let the Dogs Out.
They were dancing like crazy.
Who let the dogs out?
Who let my teeth out? Dude.
I think the only
is your cousin traumatized
literally the
by
only
this
thing
song?
I remember that has anything to do with like that song was do you remember the Kids Choice Awards?
Of course.
Yeah.
When like they had like those like the blimps that were the trope that had Nickelodeon on it.
You can buy those on eBay. People sell them now.
Really?
Because they're like, what do I want this for?
I kind of want to buy one. Yeah.
Bad.
How much are they?
Like crazy. Like I think the most I've seen is like a couple $100.
That's
Which isn't
not
too
that
bad for an award.
Yeah.
Buying a Grammy, you'll probably spend like 20,000.
I want the one that the Crocodile Hunter won.
His family probably kept that because he's dead.
Yeah, that's the one. That
one stings, Alex.
Okay. All I remember.
I'm so happy both of you like literally just stared at me.
But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that like that one year of Choice Awards was the same year that Rugrats movie came out, and like the whole like stay tuned and the Baha Men are going to let you know who really did let the dogs out.
Oh,
it's just Shaggy. Wasn't me.
No, but like it was because like that year I think it was actually the Crocodile Hunter and some other person who were the hosts of that Kids Choice Awards. And then they were like, all right, crunky kids, we got the envelopes right here. That's going to tell us who let the dogs out.
You found an accent you're good at.
So he opens up, blimey, it's the Baha Men themselves.
All right, guys, go stop wheezing.
I can't. The way he delivered that. It's the Bahamen themselves, Cronky. Oh, fuck me, the Bahamen did it.
It's obvious that they did it, though. They made the song.
Alex is beat red. He sounds like the fucking Dick Dastardly dog right now. You sound like Muttley.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Are you physically crying now?
A little bit. I'm laughing because like
So Steve Irwin or wait, who was it? Steve Irwin that came out and said this?
Yeah, at the Kids' Choice Awards.
I'm laughing because like
You literally look upset right now.
I'm laughing because I'm all the memories are now rushing into my head. I was at my friend's Dennis's house and we were watching these.
Just leave it out.
And he read the letter that it was a Baja Man, and all of a sudden it's like, who let the dogs out?
There's so many words you're just fumbling, and I can't. I went to my friend's dentist's house, and the Bible men were singing.
No, his name was Dennis, and I went to his house, and we were watching a kid's.
Why? Because you literally said I went to my friend's dentist's house. Oh, you got me good there.
You and your friend's dentist just look at each other's teeth and listen to the bomb, man. Oh, Bible men. Sorry, that's what you said.
All right, Alex, go on with your dentist story.
Oh, God.
Keep going the same speed, though. I like this.
So, Crocodile Hunter goes, oh, crikey, it's the bomb, man. Oh, fucking A. And so, as soon as he says that, they just go like, who let the dogs out? And they just walk onto the stage, and that's like how they threw like a concert, and everyone's like going like, yeah! And I was just... That's all I wanted to say.
I like that you found your balance there. Miyagi Do there.
But
That was aggressive.
What?
You went full force on everything there. Your brain was going too fast for your mouth at some point.
I appreciate the effort.
I loved it.
I love it. We need more of that, if anything.
It's just I hate that like sometimes like my brain does work faster than my
It happens to everyone, though.
Yeah. So yeah, the Baja Man did it, and
If you guys were wondering.
Not Shaggy.
No.
Wasn't him.
and so yeah, the Stu gets like the call. He says like,
We're literally 15 minutes into the movie, an hour into this video.
Or 51 minutes.
Stu gets the call. He's like, send my friends to Paris.
That's what I didn't get, because was that supposed to be like she didn't? Because everything else she said on the phone, he mistook as something else, but they didn't tell us what she actually meant. He's like, oh, Coco says blah blah, and he's like, she wants me to bring my friends.
Reptar's a hit. Yeah.
Yeah, but what was the thing? They didn't say what the thing was.
The thing was like, did they go to Paris and they go to this like place and they thought, okay, everything was a misunderstanding. Yet there was a guy with a sign
waiting for Pickle.
Yeah,
which would just been him.
So it's like,
but I think that he wasn't supposed to bring his friends and family.
Yeah,
I think he misunderstood that too. But they never told us what she actually said.
So
I think she swore to him. What sounds like friends and family that would be like a swear?
Friends and family. I don't know.
That we can. Never mind.
Why do you think she swore?
Because everything else that she said on the phone, he misunderstood for good things.
But it was Akira.
Yeah, I know. But she was just repeating what Coco said.
No,
and
but
then she's like, Miss Coco says, and then he's like, she wants me to bring my friends and family.
No, Reptar's a hit. She's having a fit. Reptar's a hit.
Yeah, she's like, Miss Coco's having a fit about Reptar. And he's like, Reptar's a hit? And then they don't say what she says, and he's like, bring my friends and family.
No, she does.
Because, like, who would say that? No, bring everyone.
She did say something, and I just forgot what it was. But that's not important. What is important is
important to me.
He mistook it, and like I guess, assuming they gave him a room for himself.
Why didn't Grandpa and Lulu go?
Because they're fucking in Hawaii somewhere, probably.
Oh, nice.
Likely fucking.
This was around the same time that Corey and Topanga and Boy Meets World would have been married and also been in Hawaii. Do you think Lulu, Grandpa, Corey and Topanga meet an old couple that they hang out with in Hawaii on their honeymoon? Do you think that's live action, Lou and Lulu? I do. Lulu. So yeah, crossover Boy Meets World Rugrats.
So Stu brought his friends and family, and they all stayed in the one apartment that was meant for him only. So it's like,
did they all stay in that?
Yeah, they all stayed in one apartment.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. But that apartment seemed to have like 9 beds, so it seemed to work out.
They had a bed for the babies. They had a bed for the
dog.
And the floor for the fucking cuck, as he's like, oh, the floor is comfy too.
He's not a cuck, he's a simp.
He literally sleeps on the floor like a dog, and while his wife sleeps on the bed.
Is that what you're into?
No.
No, wait, no, he's
I love girls that like are.
All right, anyways, Rugrats. Yeah. Your mother watches this.
No, she doesn't.
You said she did.
She saw that one episode, and she was like, your friends are just taking you for advantage.
Where's advantage? I'd take you there if you want.
You're the only funny one in this show.
You want to come to Advantage Town with me and John?
I'm always on board for that one.
Yeah, he is.
Buddy.
We don't take advantage of anyone here.
I don't give a fuck. You can't take advantage of someone that's willing to just actually.
You want to be a part of that.
Alex, can you let go of the mic stand?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, perfect. Thanks, buddy.
You ruined the whole show, didn't you?
No, he's good. He's good.
They bring their dog. Immediately, as soon as they bring their dog to the hotel, dog runs away, and no one seems to give a
And
fuck.
isn't it weird that the dog he finds was it Coco's or Kira's dog?
Which is a
It
random.
ended up being Kira's because they take it home to the States, but wasn't it Coco's to begin with?
No, it was just a random stray.
That wasn't a random stray.
It had a collar. That's
Yeah,
right.
it was Kira's.
Oh yeah, it was Kira's. Yeah, I guess it must have been.
They made it
unless
seem like
they
it was
sold-
Coco's at the beginning, but
I don't think it was Kira's dog.
Well, they took it home and went back to the States with them, and it was at the last one.
They took it home because the dog already fucked it, and they're like, well, we can't separate these two.
They got pizza stuck to their face. We literally can't separate these two.
No, we can't separate them because, you know.
I get it. Do you remember they couldn't get the pizza off their face?
I was going to make something else, but that'll be never mind.
Everyone knows what you meant.
Yeah. Anyway, so Fifi is now part of the family. But the thing
Wasn't she a bitch in the show after, though? I remember her being nice near, but I remember Fifi being like a growly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
too.
episode where she was like, she was pregnant.
Oh, she was pregnant.
Yeah,
That was like the first episodes back from the movie, wasn't it?
pretty much.
Yeah, Fifi's pregnant because after the pizza got stuck. Like, hey, we're stuck together.
Who knows
Might
if
as
it
well
was
fuck
all
together.
pizza at the Eiffel Tower when they're looking out, you know?
Alex stopped himself from making that joke, and you just made a dog cum joke.
I sure did.
I was gonna make a dog nodding joke.
I don't know what that is.
You know when dogs, when they fuck, the dog has like a knot, so like even when he's done, he can't pull out because the knot's like stuck in the female.
So you think
It's
their
a barb,
face,
but
their
yeah.
face has their genitals on it?
Anyway, this is a show about babies, all right? I want to not talk about that, but then you guys...
Like latching? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
he's
No.
talking about latching.
Anyway,
This movie came out. Alex, ready for this?
what?
The sequel to the Rugrats movie came out 22 years ago.
What?
The first Rugrats movie came out 24 years ago.
Nah.
And this one that we watched yesterday, or whatever you watched, it came out 22 years ago.
Yeah,
That's fucked.
not really.
That's really old.
To me, it is a really old movie.
It is. It's 22
Like,
years old.
if you were to tell me when, the fucking voice of Genie,
Robin Williams?
yeah, if you were to tell me when Robin Williams died, I would have just been like,
Wasn't that like 6, 7 years ago
yeah,
now?
I would have been said like 4 years ago. It's like, no, it's been like 6 or 7 years
I was
now.
living at Guy's, so it was
I
a
was
while
like,
ago.
oh my god. And it's just like, shows like Rugrats, I don't ever think like, oh
It's like
yeah.
The Simpsons. It's ageless.
Yeah, it's like,
Even though The Simpsons shittier now, but you know what I mean? Because the characters don't age.
and fuck, I lost my train of thought now. Like, now we're talking about the dogs and like what happened after. Actually, they went.
They went right to the
They just went straight to go see the.
Steve Coco and the Reptar.
And so they're like, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you." And she's like, "Oh, it would be a pleasure to meet you too. If you weren't such a bubbling buffoon."
Yeah.
And he's like, because he's so like, he was like, "I thought you wanted to like
Yeah.
congratulate me."
No, what she? He said his middle name was like something. She's like, "If it's your first name, lack thereof."
My middle name's is what's the word? What are you doing?
Man, you're ruining everything.
Seriously.
You broke our characters.
Just keep going.
We can't now.
All that chaos just to pet the cat.
Yeah.
That was sleeping.
She's so cute.
Yeah, we know. Anyway, speaking of Rugrats.
Anyway, Angelica, I forgot that she was crazy for like sweets. Like she like took all
always
those.
with the Reptar bars and the cookies and shit. I feel like half the schemes that they tried to do in the show were Angelica will give you this if you go get her cookies from the kitchen.
Pretty much, it's just I know Angelica's a bitch, but like I think
She's a 3-year-old girl, Alex.
a 3-year-old girl that tricked her friends.
Yeah, literally, actually, fuck that. She's a bitch.
This out of all the things she's done, this is probably the most fucked up. Where
Yeah.
she like almost ruins someone's life and her friend's life to marry a woman that doesn't love him or her
Yeah,
or the
or the
baby. Like that's next level. Like, and she wanted like I wanted matching ponies and my own float, and she wanted to be like the daughter of the princess or
She's
whatever.
never made. She's like, "How's the flow going?" "Oh yeah, we're almost done. We're just looking for the pony." She's like, "You're not getting shit.
That's kind of funny because it's like it's true. It's like we're not giving you anything. It's like we're not.
What are you gonna do? You're 3."
It's like, but yeah, it's like
I want a Reptar movie, but that's not anything to do with Rugrats. Like, I want it
Just
to
watch
be
Godzilla.
No, I want it to be canon with Godzilla, and I want that fucking snail there because I really like that snail.
It's not a bad monster to fight, I guess.
Well, obviously Reptar's based off Godzilla.
yeah.
When Lil looks at the snail and falls in love.
I think I'm in love. I miss this snail.
snail. I just love how Stu is like, we always think of him as like an idiot, but he's actually like really smart, and he's like telling these people like, you think like he's an idiot. It's like, I use paper clips and rubber bands for a reason, and it's like it actually does
Yeah,
work.
but then one of his kids kills a guy.
True, he did fall.
Yeah, put this helmet on, Tommy.
You know what I realized is that
Guy
he
falls
always
out of the mouth
wants
into a
to
pit.
like incorporate his kids to all of his like inventions. Like it's so
Well, because he's
easy
making
a
stuff
baby
for
can do
babies.
it. Yeah, and he puts it on his kid's head, and if that guy didn't get caught by like the welding like wire or whatever,
He still fell. He dropped
still
after it.
fell into a pit after.
yeah, but those babies would have witnessed a man die. Like
We don't know how deep that pit was. He still could have.
Yeah, we never saw that guy
he
again.
fell. If anything, he just fell on like a sheet of like just like spare parts. So yeah, he must have had
dead.
not
Yeah.
dead. He would have had
Spare
some.
parts are sharp.
Yeah, he would have
Yeah.
had some cuts and bruises. Okay.
No, dude, man. Have you seen some of the spare parts that like even just me and John have at work? That shit's pretty heavy and
I saw someone fall
aggressive.
into a bin of parts one, then they cut their whole shin wide open. Looked like a hot dog bun opened. Oh, on the water jet. You know the water jet?
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but Maurice tells me the story. There's some kid, like, know the skeletons that come out? Like, it's not real skeletons. Like, so they cut a bunch of metal parts out of it, and then the excess is called the skeleton because it just goes to scrap.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid it was on the crane, it turned and sliced his back, and he didn't know how bad it was. My old boss and my new boss now were walking by him. He's like, hey guys, is there something wrong with my back? His shirt's literally ripped down the side, and like, say this is his back. He had a thing open like that. He's like, is it that bad? And they're like, you have like literally half your back is flapping around.
Oh my god.
He's like, I think it's fine. Just put my shirt back on.
See, that's the thing is like,
What the hell?
If you don't even see the wound, do you even really like notice?
Well,
it?
if you don't know it's getting hit either, you're like, oh, fuck, it hit me. But you got a shirt on, that usually protects you for the most part.
Eh.
But depends how sharp it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, so he's dead.
Also,
If that's
those are heavy,
If that's
too.
the point you want to get, then yes, he's dead.
He's dead.
Okay. Then they're like, why don't you take the kids to see around the town or whatever?
And
And
they go to
this was another
a
fact.
sushi place in France.
So this was like another fact that like IMDb had that's somewhat useful is that like originally this movie was supposed to
Oh,
be
yeah,
Rugrats
yeah.
go to Tokyo, which makes sense like with all the Asian theme like happening.
Because usually
around.
when they even talked about Reptar in the show, wasn't it usually like a park in Tokyo?
Yeah, and what was funny was that like because of like that originally they were supposed to make this like a Tokyo theme instead of like France. They made it France because they feel like the marketing would be a lot more profitable. And so like when they were making the movie, have you noticed that like all the scenes were just like, wow, Stu, it's really weird that like they made this in Japanese theme park themed in France, and then the babies were like, wow, Tokyo.
Yeah, even Chucky was like, wow, Tokyo looks a lot different than I imagined.
Yeah.
Hey, Amanda.
I remember when
Remember that fry I dropped? Bunny found it. Can you get it? Sorry.
Remember when they thought the sumo wrestlers were big babies?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want one.
One of the sumo wrestlers is Tim Curry.
Yeah,
Oh really?
Yeah, the main one.
I was like, I heard that voice, like, what the fuck? It's like,
So, okay, Coco.
needs the heart of a
no,
kid.
No, it's Susan Sarandon. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you know who Susan Sarandon is?
Sounds familiar, but no.
The only movie at the top of my head I can think of is Stepmom. The one where Julia Roberts is dying or Susan Sarandon's dying and Julia Roberts takes that. Anyways, she's in that, and her side guy, like that runs the robot at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Lithgow
Oh.
from like Third Rock from the Sun and shit. The old guy.
Hmm.
I love him.
You're in love with him?
Yeah, I'm in love with John Lithgow.
Hey,
That's
stop chewing that.
Amanda, you're on bunny duty. Remember?
You're not doing very good bunny duty.
It's cords. She's gonna die.
Did you just knock that off the table?
What is it?
The candle holder?
Alex has been pushing everything under the table off.
Ah, nice, Alex. That's dope, bro.
Oh, that's another thing. I was like, I think we were forgetting something, but then I was like, oh yeah, none of that I recorded before.
Why are you biting everything?
She's literally biting everything now.
My cat's just attacking everything because she doesn't like her babysitter apparently.
Go, no.
Well, you're not watching her.
What am I supposed to
You're
do?
just as bad as Uncle Lou watching the Rugrats. He doesn't know what they're doing, and they always end up out
You
to the
mean
house.
Grandpa?
So
Yeah, Uncle Lou probably too.
when we mentioned
Uncle Grandpa.
when I
man.
mentioned earlier that wasn't recorded that I want to talk about now was that like when I was watching this movie, I was eating, and the airport scene was probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, because they go see Angelica because she's sitting in the VIP. By the way, why would they design those seats where you can actually kick someone's seat like constantly over and
It's
over?
awesome.
No, it's not awesome.
Yeah, especially Angelica. She's like 4 feet tall.
That's a very tall 3-year-old.
4. Oh yeah, I guess maybe 3 feet.
2 inches.
5 inches. But they're like, how like they're fucking around, they're destroying the environment and like, ozone layers and just falling apart.
Rugrats?
Phil and Lil go to other seats and like, oh, someone forgot their lunch baggie or whatever. And it's just like literally a bag of vomit, and they're like, more for us, and they just go, they
don't eat it.
They don't eat it, but like the thought of them eating.
They talk about it.
The thought of them eating vomit made me. I very rarely like lose my lunch, like I lose my appetite to eat.
Was that a callback to the line?
In case you haven't noticed, I have a hard time losing my lunch.
That's why I'm laughing. I never lose my fucking lunch.
I bet you I'll never lose my lunch ever, bitch.
But seeing that, and then the fact that they stopped at the airport to like go in the van to head to the theme park, and they're like, I don't feel so good. Don't worry, I got your lunch right here.
It's like drugs. Don't worry, I got the bag, girl.
I got your bag.
I almost wanted to throw up because of how disgusting the implication is of a baby.
What about Gooey World?
That's fine. That's not that bad.
You know
What about
that
the
is.
cookies and the goo in the diaper, and then they eat the cookies?
And then
when I was a kid,
Also, what is that goo? What if that's fucking toxic?
it definitely is the way it looks.
Yeah. And he's literally farting
Remember those
out bubbles
the ninja
after.
security guards were chasing them. They stepped on the goo and they all couldn't move.
Yeah.
All those ninjas got fucked because they were emptying their diapers of the goo.
And
What?
then imagine what's going on in their diapers, like with
Yeah.
the
Well, they
goo.
said-
Well, they even
chasing
say
it,
they're
they
like, "Oh, I got this. The goo's giving me diaper rash."
Yeah.
Probably more than that, Lil.
Yeah.
what incompetent like security guards that can't even find like 3 babies, like or whatever.
There's like 18 of them at this point, I think.
Seriously, but it's just like. These parents need to go to jail. Like, none of them remotely give a shit
Well,
about...
they thought their kids were at daycare.
Oh, they thought. How about where your kids
Well, and
are?
Chaz had them on a date. He was supposed to watch them for the day while they go do other shit, and he was, but he
As
was too busy
Chaz-
trying to
You
get
thought
his
they
dick
were
wet.
strapped in.
But he was too busy getting strapped on.
Nothing's more attractive than a man singing to the theme song of a Ooey Gooey World as he's like not paying attention to the babies
you.
that are missing. What? I'm not gonna sing to like Ooey Gooey World.
If you went to Disney World with a girl, you wouldn't sing "It's a Small World After All" in there.
That's a fucking different story, okay?
It's literally what it's based
It's literally
on.
what Gooey World's based off of, like that ride in the movie.
Well, I wouldn't want to go with a girl to Disneyland if they don't like Disney stuff.
Yeah, that.
But if she did,
Most
you
people
would
just-
still sing to her. It's a small world after all.
Most people hate "It's a Small World After All," even if they like Disney.
Well, who the fuck even sings that song? I wouldn't sing that song. It's a small world.
You're doing it.
That's such
you just asked who sings it. You do.
No, I would. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking like Disney songs in general. Like if we don't talk about Bruno started playing, I'd sing that song.
That's their point. Trevor was putting in just like a top 10 playlist on Spotify. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I just walk in. We don't talk about Bruno. He's like, "What? Do you know what this is? What is this?" Oh, I don't know, bro. I never heard it.
It was our wedding day.
I love those 2 songs in that movie, and the movie's kind of shit though.
Like barely, like a 6 out of 10.
I thought I didn't even know it was ending when it ended.
What? Oh, you thought there was?
Like I was
gonna
like,
be,
"Oh, this is it." They didn't resolve much except you're gonna continue gaslighting your daughter.
I was exactly. I was really disappointed that they all got their powers back. I was kind of hoping that they rebuild their house and it's nothing magical and they're gonna
That's
learn.
what I thought. That would be a good ending.
That would have been a good ending that they learned to
Hey,
live.
we can still be a good family and village with no powers.
Nope. Here's your fucking magical.
No, never
house.
mind. You guys got the powers back.
Yeah, seriously, and she still doesn't get her powers. Or
Well-
does she have? Does she or does
Her
she not?
power was bringing the family together or some bullshit.
Wow.
Some fake ass power.
Yeah.
They just gave her to her at the end. They're like, "Oh, you make us happy."
All right, let's skip ahead to the sushi.
Okay, sushi. You
They
really
go to
want
the sushi place in France, and even
Yeah.
Didi's like, "Yo, what the fuck are we at a sushi place in France for?" Which makes me think that they drew a lot of this stuff before they decided to make it in France.
Probably.
But like maybe they didn't give a
Because
fuck.
they drew the park all Tokyo.
But,
They
I
go
mean,
to sushi.
If
It's 2000. That's I feel like what they would have done.
even if it is a Tokyo theme park, though, they would still have a sushi place more than likely.
No, they weren't at the park. They just went to town. Just went to a random sushi place, didn't they?
I don't know.
No,
I thought it was. I
everything-
thought it was all. Everything was all
Everything
there.
was within the
Oh,
park.
I didn't
Yeah.
think of it like that. but I
Except
don't
for
know.
the wedding. Except that was at
It was at
Notre Dame.
That's why Didi was like.
Can't have that wedding there anymore.
That's why Didi was like, oh, finally an authentic,
No,
like,
she was pissed.
Why?
She's like, I thought I'd come to France, I'd have like chicken cordon bleu and like
Yeah.
baguettes and stuff.
So. And we're back.
Did you like
Sushi? No. Remember you took me to that one sushi place and
you
were
only ate fucking noodles and fried things because you did like the way that Andrew's not good. He's gonna agree with you, so I'm not gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at Amanda when I say this. Alex didn't like how the seaweed was so gummy in my mouth. It was hard to chew and swallow.
I don't
I need
mind-
mommy to cut it up for me.
I usually don't like seaweed, but
You're not as bad as
I'm
Alex
growing
is.
on
I
it.
didn't sound like
You sound like a little child. Mommy, cut up the seaweed for me. That's
Listen,
a baby voice.
what was funny was I was like, I want to try like one of everything or something like that.
and then didn't eat any of it.
And I didn't eat any of it. And John's like, they're gonna charge you extra to like take that home, right? Because they're not gonna be like. So like what I did was I took a napkin and I like wrapped up everything that I couldn't finish and just stuffed in my pockets.
Everyone's done it.
And I was just like,
So you stole.
Yeah.
Jesus ain't gonna be happy about that one.
I'm never gonna go
Oh
back there.
my
I'm pretty sure
God.
it's like shut down now at this point.
Well, we've gone there like a month ago.
9 Hail Marys.
It wasn't the one that uses those like the iPads to order your food.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was a different one.
Both of the ones you went to with us before are open still.
The one that I'm talking about, that was like the first time I ever had
The one
sake.
in the Chuck E. Cheese parking lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's still open.
that one's still there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chuck E. Cheese is gone.
I just remember like I went there and I was like, I want like to my mind I'm thinking like only douchebags like eat sushi and it's like and as soon as I eat there I see a family and they're all wearing suits even though the son is wearing a suit and they're all like
We
sitting.
went on a Sunday. It was probably after church.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's probably
And
right.
they also have that mega church like right across
Yeah,
the street.
right
Oh
across the street
yeah,
from it.
fuck. Okay,
The
that makes
cult.
it all makes sense now. All right then.
So you just called a child wearing a suit a douchebag eating sushi.
Fucking stupid douchebag kid wearing a suit. Was he think he's a businessman or something? Cool.
Can we touch on that for a second?
What?
Every 80s movie and the early 90s movie, if there was a business meeting, it was always with Japanese men and they took them to sushi.
Well, sushi is a very like when you eat sushi, it's not like you're just eating. It's like you're eating art in a way because those people.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I kind of get it that sushi is a very like elegant, like very
It's
sophisticated.
like eating flowers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not as
I'm just trying
lame
to
as
throw you off.
not as lame as
It's like eating Van Gogh after his ear was gone.
It's like eating Van Gogh's ears.
Well, it's like the
itself.
same concept of like no one plays golf, but you want to like
Max
impress.
loves golf, and I don't get it.
Yeah, you don't want to. No one really likes golf, but you want to play golf to impress your boss.
No,
and-
it's weird.
My dad likes golf,
I
but I
like-
think he just likes drinking.
Yeah, that's the only time I went with Max. I literally got blackout drunk, and I was the one driving the golf cart. I locked myself in a porta potty. Like the door was stuck, and I was like, I can't get it open. It was hot. There's no reception in it, so I
Oh
literally
my
kicked the door open,
God.
got back in the fucking go kart, and drove over to them. I kept getting yelled at by all the fucking guys that like run the place because I was driving on the green. I was like, oh, you guys want to get to the hole? Fuck, I'll just take you right to the fucking hole. I don't care. I almost went. There's like a bridge, but it doesn't have guards. And I was like, like going like fucking 20 on a golf cart over it. Guy, it was me, Guy, Max, and some guy that I used to work with that we won't talk about. But me and Max were hammered, and Guy and the guy I used to work with were really high. And on the last hole, Guy hit it, and the hole's this way, the parking lot's that way. It didn't even go near the hole. Guy just shot it right in the parking lot. It landed like literally as far away from me and you. From a person, like an old man walking, that would have just killed him and then just started bouncing in the parking lot. And almost hit they have this blow up, range, like for you to practice your swing and shit. Mm-hmm. And he almost like just popped it by putting the ball through it.
My sister was always explaining to me how like she went to those like those ranges where it's just like people like on a stadium or whatever. Or what do you call those things? Like just the platforms.
Yeah, platform.
And they just shoot. They just like just take aim and shoot it, hit it as hard as they can. She was telling me how like the guy that always has to like to fish the balls back is always like just pelted by like everyone trying to hit.
All right, so let's speed this up, Alex.
Okay, so Chaz is like
Chaz has fallen in love with
he's
Coco.
completely in love with Coco Lamouche or Labouche, which is literally translated to Coco the Mouth.
Yeah.
And
What do you think that means?
she knows how to use that mouth.
What'd
And
that mouth do, Coco?
I think it'd be funny.
and
if
I
she
love
was
how
played by,
I love how her psychic what's his her
His sidekick or his sidekick?
her sidekick, the assistant, what's his name? It's like Jean Biger.
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude, that's right.
Yeah,
His-
Cloud.
His suit that he's wearing is like that. Like, is it blue or is it?
Yeah.
It's like he's wearing that suit, and I'm like, wow, this guy knew style before it was like even a thing, or like.
Do you think that it would be funny if Ice-T's wife played Coco?
Too much ass for one movie.
It's true. That's facts.
She did got that dump truck though.
In the cartoon?
Yeah.
Did she?
You saw her ass.
I thought she had the same body as. Oh wait, never mind. She
I
did
see
have a dump
London.
truck.
I see France.
Yeah.
I see Coco.
I was expecting that was a lot for a kids cartoon, to be honest.
Yeah, like the garter belt and everything.
Yeah, but like fucking half cheeks hanging out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
She looks like a
And-
stick bug with a fucking dump truck.
I just thought like the whole scene where like it's just everything kind of like the movies. I had no idea this movie was only like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Me either.
To me, it was like this was like a perfectly like length movie, and it went on forever, and it was just like. But then the scenes like it was like Chucky's like really the scene I actually remember the most. It was like after the ninjas like sent them back to their theme park to Ooey Gooey World, and then they're like, oh man, I sure am tuckered out by being in love with this woman that I just met only like 2 days ago.
I'm so tired about being in love.
Yeah, so Chucky's like sitting in bed with Tommy, and he's like, I'm tired of being a chicken shit all the time. I'm tired of being afraid all the time. And then like Stu was like, not Stu.
Yeah, Stu just starts talking to Chucky. It's baby geniuses all of a sudden, but they have the translator, they can understand them.
And then Tommy's like, you just have to take the good with the bad. You know, it's like whenever you're.
Yeah, it's the facts of life.
Yeah, like sometimes
Take the good, take the bad. The facts of life.
he's like, if you're scared of something, then think
Facts
of
of
something
life.
that like makes you happy. He's like, okay, so if like someone's going to murder me, I think of my bear.
Why are you
Wawa."
making Chucky sound like the mouse from the American Tail? Not even the mouse. The mouse's dad. Chucky's a 2-year-old. Not even a 2-year-old. He's turning 2. And you
Tommy.
made him sound like an immigrant from New York in 1920.
I don't know why I always devolve into that like that way of.
He has a normal voice. He talks like nasally.
This was also, by the way, the last movie that the voice actor of Chucky.
Yeah, because
She had
throat cancer.
Mhm.
She lived till 2014, but she couldn't do anything. But Nancy Cartwright took over the voice of Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
She didn't take over the voice of Bart Simpson. She was the voice of Bart Simpson and took over Chucky after this.
She is the voice person.
I am the voice of Bart Simpson.
She's both.
Yeah.
She's Bart, Chucky,
And so-
Simpson,
Chucky,
Finster.
Bart Simpson.
Chucky's
Finney.
like asking like Tommy all these
Finney.
questions, and Tommy's just like, I'm pretending to fall asleep. I don't want to hear this bullshit.
No, he
You're
actually
Chucky.
he was falling asleep. He's a baby.
Hey, you're Chucky. I'm Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your problems.
And so later on, he falls asleep, and I forgot about this scene where it's like, here comes Chucky Chan.
Yeah,
And he dreams
it
about
was cool
him
because like they took the same style as like all the old.
in martial arts.
No, like the visuals. Yeah, but like the song will just remind me of Shaft.
That's
He's
the
a
thing.
bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Shut your
it
mouth.
was like,
Well, I was just talking about Shaft.
oh, I can dig it. Well, I don't know. It was just that kind of style of song where it's just like talking about the main character of the show, but in this case, it's just talking about Chucky. Trying to get some balls to save his papa.
I was kind of confused because, like, wasn't the first movie about Chucky trying to confront his fears of, like, because he's always afraid? Or was the plot of the first movie just, like...
Dill.
Some monkeys kidnap Dill and they have to fight the monkeys with the reptile wagon.
Oh, yeah, because...
Wait,
no,
isn't
Tommy was...
Nigel Thornberry in
That's
it?
the third one.
No, he's in this one, eh? Did you read that? I bet you didn't find that tidbit.
No, what?
When they're in Ooey Gooey World, if you look behind them, the cart behind them has Eliza and Nigel.
What?
What?
Yeah.
The whole Thornberry clan?
No, just two of them.
Clan.
Crew?
Thornberry Clan.
Crew?
Eliza and what's his name?
Nigel?
Nigel. Both of them are in the Ooey Gooey World cart
I
behind
had
them.
no idea.
Eliza? That's the
daughter.
The young daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the older daughter's name?
Who gives a fuck? She hot.
So I was just wondering.
Yeah, is that why?
What's the wife's name?
I don't know anyone.
Just Eliza
Just
and
Eliza
Nigel.
and
The two that matter. Let's be real.
I definitely have to, like, look back at that now.
Donnie. The
Donnie,
crazy
I like
boy.
Donnie a lot. Wild Thornberry's. Look,
Was that a good show? Did you like that
It was
show?
an amazing show.
Yeah.
That show was dope.
Remember Chalk Zone?
Yes.
I remember that. I was waiting for that show to premiere for weeks, and then I slept at my cousin's house the night it appeared. And no one woke up because it was like Saturday morning premiere, and no one woke up. I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna watch Chalk Zone by myself.
You know what I immediately thought about, like, when I was thinking, like, that they were saying, like, how, oh, you know how, like, every drawing that people makes and they erase it, it comes to our world, it just comes to the Chalk Zone.
Yeah.
How many drawings of just dicks do you think?
All the super bad drawings are just there. The dick tanks, the dick banana.
The gorilla dick.
Yeah.
There would be so many dicks in Chalk Zone.
There should have been like I don't know because I don't remember much of that show, but I wonder if there was like a part. If not, they should have just like, what's that dark area over there? We don't go there. that's Alex's hentai palace. We don't go there.
I don't draw with chalk. Did you actually used to play chalk when you were a kid?
No,
Like
I just usually use like pens, markers, crayons.
I remember that, like, me and my sister, whenever my dad would wash the car, my dad would want us to be outside.
Why do you want me to watch the car?
No, he was washing the car. When my dad was washing the car, he would want me and my sister to be outside while he was doing work because he doesn't want us to be inside all the time.
Yeah, he knows.
So while he's washing the car,
doing,
me and my sister actually did have like chalk to play with, and we would draw like fucking rainbows. We would draw my sister.
I lived in the hood, dog. There was only chalk lines for dead people in there.
Yeah, same, dude. Just kidding.
No,
I didn't live in the hood.
Yeah, so that's the only time I ever played with chalk, and like.
I remember Easter was a time where all my cousins and me would get chalk. I don't know why. Easter, we'd always get chalk, kites, and like Easter candy. I don't remember why.
Yeah. I used to get chalk at Easter too for some reason.
Okay, let's not talk about
like
chalk.
Shaped like eggs too, like
Oh
Easter
my
eggs.
God.
Chalk eggs.
You know, let's divert this just to talk about our favorite type of chalk.
Do you like the egg-shaped chalk, or you
I've
like
never had.
Did you know that
You like dynamite chalk?
there's some man in prison that was in prison, but he's maybe dead now, that had an egg-shaped dick? Did you know that? Nardwar, doo 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 doo.
Everybody knows that.
Okay, hopefully we can cut this part out.
No, that was a good part.
Yeah, that's fucking solid info.
But let's keep talking about the movie.
Chaz is about to get married. She she finds out Angelica's about to get tattling, you know?
And she was like,
She's like, no.
"Oh no, what am I going to do?" She just like locks her up and like
locks all the babies up.
no one seems to care too much that like the babies aren't there at the
Chaz
wedding.
does.
Chaz does.
Oh, at least
Chaz.
one dad gives a fuck.
Yeah, the
No, the parents don't know yet. Because he's like, oh, I can't go on without Chucky here. I want him to be at the wedding.
It doesn't even matter if the parents are like thinking that the kids
because
are,
the
You would think
babies were
parents-
supposed to be part of the wedding, so that they're under the assumption that helper guy, like John Lithgow's character,
Oh, the guy that they
that
just met. Yeah,
he's getting the babies. Yeah, it is weird but he's getting the babies ready for the wedding, not locking them up.
Yeah, you
And-
wouldn't trust the guy wearing Thor's boots and
No.
Thor's boots.
Thanos' boots and fucking skull pants with your babies.
No, and like first off, if you were a kid, not that any of us would ever do this. This is just part of the movie I'm getting at. If you were a part of a kidnapping plan for a bunch of babies and it went awry, would you walk into the church with everyone's babies that you kidnapped? Be like, the kidnapping didn't work out. Hey, we tried to kidnap them. It didn't work.
I don't understand what was he thinking. Like, yeah, he like pretty much would confess.
And second off, okay, these babies take over Reptar. Not the greatest thing, but babies be babies, you know? They do shit. This guy gets in the snail and just starts literally trying to kill the babies, like spinning them by the tail. They should have died there.
I think in
Definitely.
a way, his the power got to him. Like he's in a fucking snail mech. And he's like, I'm going to cook you like escargot. Oh, and he's
Why would he
just...
cook him like his family?
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
the snail, not them.
But anyway, so yeah, he wreaks havoc, and they pretty much destroy like national landmarks, like that. What's that archway?
The Louvre or the Archway? I don't know what that's called.
He smashes into that, breaks probably the front half of it, and then like
You know what they didn't break though, which is
My
probably
heart.
good right now, is Notre Dame.
It's already broke,
Yeah,
and the whole family was in it.
yeah.
Can we just?
Didn't they break the roof?
No, they didn't.
I
break
thought
it.
Reptar reached in. Oh no, I'm thinking of the
No,
daycare.
the head popped off just before, and they all heard it shake outside. And
I
they were
don't
like,
think we
"What?"
fully appreciate the inventions that Stu made. Stu made literal mechs that can shoot. Like I know the snail shoots out like slime,
Slime.
but like you can
Still dope.
you can easily outfit that thing with like some missiles and shit. Like
Yeah.
he.
Oh, Reptar seemed to have a bunch of shit.
Reptar had a flamethrower attached to it,
Yeah.
and it was just like.
What I was disappointed though?
hmm.
You can make the Reptar wagon talk. Why couldn't you make this giant mech talk?
Not enough paper clips and rubber bands.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And so
And on that note, I'm just kidding.
all these kids were like in such dangerous situations. The entire movie, these kids were like,
Specifically Angelica and Kimmy.
yeah, they have been
Yeah.
in danger throughout the beginning of this movie, where none of the parents seem to give a fuck about where they are, especially in the airport, and especially in like the daycare, and more so in the wedding. The parents are just like, okay, they're not our responsibility anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, because they think they're being taken care of. Because they think that guy's a babysitter or a daycare guy.
I get that, but like,
But no, I get what you're saying.
But even my parents would be like, I kind of want to like, like
Your parents are like that now.
yeah.
Wait, I have a quick question
Mhm.
before, and
I have a really quick answer.
This is jumping back really far, But why the fuck does Susie Carmichael know French?
She's always was a smarter one.
Yeah, but still, they don't learn French in the States.
She's a smart one.
And she just
She
decided.
does machines.
How?
Because that's what the theme song of Ninja Turtles. It says Donatello does machines because he's a smart one.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
She's smart. I always loved that, to be honest. Though.
But wait, how old is she?
Same age as Angelica,
Like
So,
three or four.
Yeah, so she took it upon herself to learn.
Her
plus-
parents were always.
Mm.
I feel like her parents were very intellectual in the show.
Yeah, that's true.
They-
And also,
they taught her a bunch of
kids,
shit.
they absorb a lot more information. So maybe
It's
she's
easier to learn the language when you're a kid than it is an adult.
It's kind of cool that they gave like such good representation.
Yeah, cool. She was in either movie though, for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
I like her better than Angelica, but I think that's what I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like Angelica at all.
I always loved in the show when Angelica would be being like a straight up cunt, and then fucking cunt, and then Susie Carmichael would be like, "Yeah, actually, no, you're wrong, and you're an idiot, and you're really fucking dumb, and all these kids like me."
Jesus.
She never said that, but
That's
really-
word for word.
Really
what she
quick,
said, I
you know how
remember.
like when Kimmy calls Stu at his home and like it shows like, ooh, the
her
phone
name's
is
Kira.
Kira. You know, like, oh, the signal goes to the satellite goes to.
Yeah, I
like-
read that too, Alex.
That's in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
no, you can't even read right. That's not where it said
I
they
was
live.
I wanted to make sure that you were
It was
you were.
California.
There you go, buddy.
So we find out that they live in California from that phone call transmission.
Dope.
Still don't know where the
We
fucking
doxed them.
Simpsons lives.
They live in.
They'll never tell us.
Springfield.
Yeah, but
For
there's
what? There's like millions of, not
Yeah.
literally, but there's tons of Springfields. In
There's
there.
like 8.
I'm pretty sure with how America films all their shows,
The way it
everything's-
looks and the way everything happens in Springfield, I would say it's Springfield, Michigan,
my money's on Ohio.
because they're literally like this far apart.
Well, they came to Ontario.
Yeah,
Or, like,
and the
Windsor.
there was an episode where Lisa literally like walks to Windsor, isn't it?
Yeah, she's like on the.
She doesn't go to Windsor.
Yeah, she does.
She sits across the street from she sits across the river from the Renaissance Center.
Yeah, she's looking at Detroit from Windsor in the episode.
Yeah, like she's actually in Windsor, Ontario.
And you know what? It all comes back. You know why?
Hmm.
Because Nancy Cartwright now voices Chucky, and Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Bart Simpson.
There you
Bring it
go.
all back, boys.
Right back
And
to
Amanda.
Windsor.
So after destroying several landmarks, a daycare
Probably killing a few people by
probably
accident.
killed a few people. They
Why
finally
does Amanda look so happy right now? What'd she do? We've been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon in the
she
background all
spent
day.
all of our money.
I didn't.
Okay, man. Amanda's doesn't know business, right? So
Amanda's
she
been running this thing for like 4 hours.
yeah, but listen,
Amanda
okay?
made a roller coaster that was just a circle and was like, "This is
Hey,
a honest ride."
That was our
That's
money
the only
maker
complaint
for
me
the
and Alex
beginning.
had was that.
We're already back
In the
up.
beginning, we made so much money.
We-
Okay, and then
Did you though?
Amanda, yes, we did. And then Amanda,
No, Amanda took out a loan. That's why you had money.
no, Amanda took out a loan. That's why we don't have money
We had
now.
money 'cause we didn't spend any.
Did you pay the loan?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yes.
Prove it.
Oh, right, I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
Did you pay any of it?
No, she didn't.
No, I paid 1,000 of it. Actually, you know what? Hold
God.
on. I'm going to pay a bunch of it right
Pay as much as you can right now.
And well, you still gotta pay your employees, so leave some money for that.
No, it's
fine,
okay.
because
We're in a
racking up
positive.
money because I've made so many different rides. We're getting.
Amanda, we have $80.
Anyways, so Rugrats. So it ends off.
Yeah, it ends
They
off.
find out that Coco's a bitch, and Chaz decides to marry another person on the fact that they like the same poem, just like he did with the crazy bitch. But he lucked out with this one because she's actually a nice, good
How
person.
lucky is this guy, by the way? He almost obviously is about to marry someone who's doesn't give a shit about them, but she was rich, so he would have been rich.
That's not nothing.
But he, in doing so, by getting close to this person, he ended up finding the love of his life, who loves the same poem and loves him just as much as.
And they stay together because if you watch All Grown Up, they're together.
How is All Grown Up, by the way?
To be honest, I like it.
Yeah.
I liked All Grown Up, even now. Like I have All Grown Up DVDs right now.
I think do you remember that Angelica feels sorry for being a bitch almost? Wasn't there?
Yeah,
like,
that was like one of the first episodes, I think.
Oh.
I remember when that premiered too. The first episode was Angelica got grounded, but she wanted to be cool, so she got fucking lip gloss and went to this concert with this girl with this blue hair.
How do you feel about shows where it's like the show's about them being kids and that's like the main theme of it, but then now it's like, what if they're grown up? Or
I know it didn't do as well as Rugrats, but think about it from their point. the kids who started watching Rugrats in '91 are now the age of they are and all grown up. So let's grow the show up with them, and maybe they'll continue watching.
Yeah.
I think that show lasted like 2-3 seasons, so it wasn't the worst.
I feel bad for the dog because I remember the first episode was
He's still in it.
I know they gave Spike bacon. The dog clearly has like
Diabetes or something. He's just like Spike's fat as fuck.
The grandpa is still alive. He drives the bus even though
Yeah.
he's like 956 years old.
Yeah, he is. Andrew, all right, how many Reptar bars do
Yeah.
you give this movie?
I give this movie 8.3 Reptar bars.
8.5 from
8.3? What the fuck? Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I really enjoyed it.
It's definitely a movie that like I'm glad that I enjoyed it now even when I enjoyed it when I was like a little kid.
It's not often you see a sequel that's better than the first.
It's not often that when you think of a movie of a cartoon that you like to watch, you think of just the sequel and not the other 3 movies. Right,
I've seen Gone Wild like once when I was a kid, and not even fully.
Gone Wild was like, what even really happened besides like they got stuck in a submarine and they found a giant squid.
Like, see, you're saying that? I don't know any of that.
Yeah, so like, Gone Wild was just like, oh, they meet the wild thornberries, but it's like nothing. There's no like real
And at that point, wasn't like the Wild Thornberries like off? And Rugrats 2, to be
No,
honest?
I still
Because
think
that came out in 2004. Rugrats was, I think, done. I think it was on for like 9 seasons. 12 seasons at the most.
I just like.
Wild Thornberries didn't last as long as Rugrats. I don't think any of those shows did.
There's very few things that I remember like from that
Well,
movie.
it's weird that they would bring it back for just one.
Well, maybe that's the last hurrah for both of them.
Maybe.
Have
Could
you guys
be.
ever played that like the?
Hey, did you know Rugrats in Paris is the only Rugrats movie not in the wilderness?
Yeah.
That's another fun fact that the internet has.
That was stupid facts about these movies.
Did you know that Chuck E. Chan is a tribute to Jackie Chan?
Yeah, literally. Anyways, that's all she wrote because we've been talking about mostly not Rugrats
I'm
for
tired.
a long time. Chat you later, everyone.
See you guys.
Andrew, stop looking at roll.
Take care. See you. Bye. Have fun. See our Patreon. It's cool. It's very fun.
Patreon is cool.